The M1911 and AK-74U have recently been added into Zombies Chronicles maps and thus continuing the continuity, or rather making sure that it's more accurate to the original forms of these maps. And with the addition of these weapons, a lot of people are hyped up about it. A lot of people don't see the hype necessarily, and either side of the fence that you fall on, it's totally cool. But nonetheless, there have been some changes made to the M1911 in particular that I want to mention here within this video. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 5 changes to the M1911 from the classic version up until now within Black Ops 3 and Zombies with Zombies Chronicles that you may very well have noticed for yourself. Now, disclaimer, none of these end up majorly changing the gameplay in any way, shape, or form like that, and it's not anything that I really care too much about these changes. I love the fact that we got this, once again, continuing the classic continuity of these Zombies maps, but for better or for worse, these changes have been made. It's not anything like that where I'm kind of trying to degrade the image that we have of it now. I'm just simply stating them out for you guys to make your own opinions and inferences off of that. So with that said and out of the way, let's jump into our 5 changes here. The first thing that you'll probably notice is that the audio of the M1911 is different. It's not the same fire audio that we've had in the classics of World at War and Black Ops 1. This one is more up to date with Black Ops 3's models and everything like that. Is it something that really is a big deal? Not necessarily, but a lot of people definitely really wanted to see that classic fire audio return, to which it has not. Whether or not that'll be patched at some point in time, I guess we'll never really know until that time comes, but for the time being, it is a completely different fire audio, and I'll let you hear a little bit of it right now.
Double points! This is proper socialist reform!
Now, the next thing I want to discuss a little bit with you guys is the reload animation on the M1911, and this is one that I saw a bunch of comments on this, and when I immediately went in to check it out, I checked out simply the base M1911, and there's some very, very subtle changes here on this, but where you actually see the apparent changes are in the Mustang and Sally, the pack-a-punched version of the M1911. But just for the sake of showing you both the M1911 base, the animation at some frames looks a tad faster, but when you compare the very initial start, when the magazine drops out of the M1911, and then when it comes to a resting center position, this is where they are both exactly the same. The time in between has a little bit different of fluctuations in the animation, but the overall reload is exactly the same in terms of when it starts and when it finishes. But the Mustang and Sally animation is something that is a little bit different. You guys probably remember the iconic one-handed reload that it does. There's not really any other way to describe this animation as other than being just slick and completely awesome. But when you compare it to the current Black Ops 3 Mustang and Sally, it is simply put a lot more dull. You end up dropping out the magazines, but then to end up recocking the weapon, it's almost as if you end up still having the single M1911 reload animation, but you're simply applying it and copying and pasting it to your other hand, so you have it twice at once. So whereas it's not necessarily that big of a deal, the unique animation that was iconic throughout World at War, Black Ops, and even Black Ops 2 ended up being a little bit changed here for Black Ops 3 and toned down in some certain mannerisms. But that's gonna move us into the third change here with this one, and that deals a little bit with the iron sights. Now, I remember coming across yesterday at some point in time after the update went live about an explanation as to why the iron sights were changed around, but I cannot for the life of me find where that was, and I can't remember exactly what the reasoning was behind it. I remember it being a pretty good theory, and man, it's gonna make me mad that I can't find that now. But if you end up taking a look at the M1911 from classic Call of Duty compared to now in Black Ops 3, the Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles version ends up having a little green outline denoting where those iron sights are, and that was something that was never on any of the previous versions of the iron sights and the M1911. Something that doesn't really necessarily make that big of a difference, but that has been changed around no less. The next thing I want to talk about is the fire rate cap and the trigger stop interval, depending on how you want to look at it, because if you compare it and stack it up next to the MR6, it does fire faster than that of the MR6, and seemingly faster than that of the older M1911s as well. With this being said, comparing it firstly to the MR6, it does have a 125 RPM higher fire rate than that of the MR6. The MR6 is a 500 RPM. The M1911 in Black Ops 3 and in previous titles, except for Advanced Warfare, was also 625 RPMs. So there's a little bit of, once again, that misbalance there as well, which kind of takes that idea of a reskin and maybe throws it out the window. I don't necessarily know, but where this then maybe either is a placebo effect or something that actually is changed differently is that there seemingly is less time between shots that you can take with the M1911 and Black Ops 3. You could spam the M1911 in previous titles with it in Zombies, but with this now in Black Ops 3, it seems like there's almost no interval between shots. So you can continuously just spam that trigger, and if you have a massively insane trigger finger, you can end up pulling off some wicked shots with this and emptying your magazine in split seconds. Now, if you watch the gameplay from yesterday, or perhaps even in the one in this video, you can totally tell there is seemingly a difference between the two. So as it stands right now, it seems like this is a change that I would consider, but also definitely consider it a change because of the MR6 to the M1911, the current fire specs on that as well, and the idea and notion that it is a reskin. Now, the fifth and final thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the recoil, because it's non-existent in Black Ops 3. If you take a look at any of the other Zombies titles with the M1911 in it, you'll definitely have some vertical recoil with every single shot you take, but with this one, it's incredibly controllable and something that it's almost non-existent once again. It does not deter your shot in any way, shape, or form, and it's something that really, once again, with this whole spam situation helps you out, and honestly, that might be a reason as to the seemingly upped fire rate is because the center speed is so fast it brings the gun down to that point in which you can start shooting again. That's something that definitely might be something to consider there as well, but the recoil itself literally is non-existent. So for those of you guys that love weapons with no recoil, this is the perfect choice for that. Though it might not be that effective in the later games unless you pack a punch, it's something that definitely, early rounds, absolutely no problem. But that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Did you guys see any other changes with the M1911? Did you guys have any that you favor or absolutely hate with the M1911 of these changes that we mentioned? Whatever it may be, feel free to drop it down there in the comment section down below. But that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you guys did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel as well, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Black Ops 3, both multiplayer and Zombies with Zombies Chronicles, World War II, both multiplayer and Zombies there as well, Modern Warfare Remastered, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But all that said, now that we hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. My name has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.